Hi. In the previous video, we ended up with this particular example representing our expanded formula, our condensed formula, and our line or skeletal structure. Now, you know that this is an example of branching out. When there's branching, always remember that you branch or when you draw it, the branch has to be connected to the right carbon. And take note, branching out is like it protrudes to that particular straight continuous chain of carbon atoms, and then so when it branches out, especially if there's more than two, so for example CH2 CH3, when you branch out, the two carbon branches have to be distinguished from each other. That means you need to bend your line to represent the 2 points for the two carbons. So this is your CH2 and the last one is your CH3. And then for just one branch, that's easy because you'll just put one line, right? But for the straight chain, you'll see that it should be zigzagged because every point represents your carbon. So it has to be clear. Now we'll go for more examples. So this is an example of a condensed structural formula. Now, if we are to make this into a zigzag, or a line or skeletal structure, how do we do that? So these two are representations of your condensed structural formula. You may emphasize the single bonds between the carbon, or sometimes you may not. You just emphasize the branching out, which is still correct. So this is still condensed and this is also condensed, both of which are the same. Okay, so the CH is just drawn such that the CH3 on the two sides of carbon are placed on the left and the right. And in this case, it's like an antenna, which is more or less the same. It's still a CH. And then you have to note also that the number of carbon has to be noted, so you'll know how many points you need to make. So the strategy in order to make a line structure is we look at the straight chain first, then the branching out you do it last. So it's obvious that our straight chain here are this. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me number that. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons. And by the way, you need to know that the moment you draw the branching out, by the way, it's always C to C, C to C. Okay, just take note of that. So going back, there are 7 carbon atoms. So you may draw 7 points. So how do we draw 7 points? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like 3 hills. So that represents your 7 carbon atoms. And let's now look at the branching. The second carbon has a branch, which is just 1 carbon. So when you branch it, you'll put one line there. So that's your second carbon because this is your first, this is your second. So you branch that out. Then the fourth carbon has 1 carbon branch that branches out to 2 carbon. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So how do we draw that? First carbon is just line. That's our first carbon, and then the two carbons that branch out from there. So it forms like a letter Y because this is your CH and this is your CH3 and that's your CH3. So this is the complete line structure of the given. So that's your line structure. If you are to be asked how much or what is the chemical or molecular formula of this given structural formula, all you need to do is just count how many carbons you have total. So there are 7 in the straight chain. This is the 8th, the ninth, the 10th, and the 11th. So that's a C11. And how many hydrogens? So you just count all of them. So in the first line, that's 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6, 7, 9, 11 plus 3, 14. Then look at the branches. 14 plus 3, that's 17. This is 18. 18 plus 6, 24. So the molecular formula is C11H24. So that is the molecular or this is the chemical formula of the given. So that's my example on how we can analyze a condensed structural formula and convert it into a line formula, and then be able also to come up with its molecular or chemical formula. So that's it for now. Please watch out for the next video. The next video will be focusing on analyzing line structures, and then converting it to condensed structural formula, and at the same time getting the molecular formula. So that's it for now. This is Madam Narca saying don't stop learning, relearning, and unlearning. God bless you. Bye bye.